I'm gonna do a live Periscope here in a minute. Hey kid. All right, just coming out of my house, gonna jump into my car here on the way to the Find and Flip Summit. By the way, thank you for inviting people here. I'm gonna jump in my car here. I'm not gonna drive this time. My wife almost killed me. She hopped on. She says, if you Periscope while you're driving next time, we got problems. So I'm not gonna be doing that anymore. Yeah, as we log on, I'm gonna share with you one tip, all right? One tip that's gonna add an extra 10K per deal on every single deal, all right? Are you guys ready? Come on. If you're ready, let me see some hearts. Come on, bring them, bring them, bring them, bring them. I'm going to ask a couple things, by the way. If you don't know how to do hearts, just give a tap there. Also, before I share this tip that I learned at the Find and Flip Summit, and it is awesome, by the way. It is awesome. And again, this tip's going to give you an extra 10K per deal. And what does that mean in your business? All right. 10K per deal. All right. Let's say you do 5 deals per month, right? That's going to be an extra 50 grand per month, okay, in your pocket, right? But without having to do any more work, right? You got to think smarter and not harder when you're in the wholesaling business, or any business for that matter. I don't even know why I said wholesaling. But before I share this tip, I need a couple favors from you. If you're not following me on Twitter, find me at Todd Toback. Also, if you've not been to my website, NoLimitsRealEstateInvesting.com, you can download a copy of the No Limits Map, the massive action plan. This is going to get you started from your first deal all the way up to 7 figures if you want. So make sure you go to my website right now and download that. It's like it's a super concise execution plan. And then before we get started, I would appreciate if you just go up and to the right and share this with your followers up and to the right. And Brian asked, why such a break from the podcast? Well, they are up and running again, by the way. I think there are 2 that have been published in the past week. I'm going to be podcasting and periscoping a lot more. So I really appreciate that. Thank you, Allie, for sharing. I really, really, really appreciate that. So I'm really passionate about it, and the more interaction I see from you on these things, the more I'll do them. All right, so here's the tip that I learned yesterday from the Find and Flip Summit, and I learned this from Sean Terry. I also saw this on The Profit with Marcus Lemonis, all right? And they had a company that he was analyzing. It was called 1-800-CAR Cash, okay, 1-800-CAR Cash. And this business, they do the same thing that we do, right? They basically lock up a car below market value, right? And then they resell it, right? And they're doing it on a huge scale. I think Marcus Lemonis is worth like $1 billion, right? He's the CEO of Camping World and owns a ton of different businesses. And one of the things that he saw in 1-800-CAR Cash is that when people brought their cars in to sell for fast cash, right, that they weren't going around and documenting the condition of the car. Right? They weren't saying, okay, this needs a repair here or needs a repair there, right? They just found out that people are just kind of, saying, it needs a little bit of work, and then just quoting a price, right? As humans, right, and as someone who's expecting cash for an asset, we want justification, right? We want documentation. So what he did was he created a form, and he had all the salespeople document all the defects in the car, okay? This is something called price conditioning, right? Price conditioning. So that as you're analyzing the house in our business, right, you're setting the expectations of the seller and bringing them down, right? Do you guys like this stuff, by the way? If you can, just hit those hearts, please, and just share and go up and to the right to share with your followers, okay? So what Sean Terry suggested yesterday, which is great, he makes something called, my wife's pulling up here, called a repair sheet. Right? And when he goes around the house with a homeowner or one of his salespeople, they document all the defects in the house. And he takes notes and he marks, little X's. And that way they create a justification for how much work the house needs. And then against everything, there's a price associated with that. So they take the 3 lowest comps in the area, right? They document all the repairs the house needed. And now, boom! There's a price, right, that they get, right? And there is a logical explanation for what the house needs, right? I recently had my house remodeled, and, the contractors who went around and documented everything and itemized everything, Really broke it down, right, are the contractors who got further along in the interview process, right? And the guy who I picked to remodel my house, right, was not the cheapest, right? Actually, he was towards the higher end, right? In our business, we'd be towards the lower end, right? Because we're buying houses for cheap. But it was because he had his act together, right? I understood that. Sorry if the connection is bad here, right? He had his act together. He was documented. I felt like he was a professional. He pointed out what needed to be done. And really, that price conditioning, right, with me enabled me to actually pay a higher price for the house, right? So what I'm going to suggest to you is next time you're going around with a seller, right, get a price sheet, right? Get a repair sheet and document the repairs that the house needs, right? We're going to be implementing this in our business and put a number to it, right? And if you have the lowest comps, right, then bring that along with the repairs the house needs, and it'll be much easier to negotiate the price that you need to lock up a house for a great deal and then sell it to your cash buyers for a much larger profit. Now, I want to reiterate really quick on why that's so important. Again, all right, it is much easier to do a $25,000 wholesale deal, one, than to do 3 deals for $7,500. I mean, it is much easier, right? If you condition your seller the right way, they're going to be motivated. It's going to be easy. You're not going to have to go and take more calls. Your overhead will be lower. Less deals, bigger deals, right? What's better is more deals, bigger deals, right? So you want to get there too. But more importantly, you want to maximize the profit per deal so that you can keep your costs down. You want to keep your sanity up and your hip national bank very large. So I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to head to our website, No Limits Real Estate Investing. .com. I hear that there's a bad connection. I'll try to post this on YouTube later. Download the copy of the No Limits Map, the Massive Action Plan, and I will see you on the next video. Make sure to head on our website, leave a comment. Love ya. See you on iTunes, YouTube. I'm there. Mwah! Later.